Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Mujtaba Ghoto and I will be your host for tonight's webisode in the series of career development webinars presented and hosted by 𝗘𝗡𝗚𝗚𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏 Institute of Science and Technology. This webinar is being broadcasted live on Facebook and YouTube. Before we begin, I would like to give a brief introduction about Szabist, 𝗘𝗡𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Institute of Science and Technology, which is a highly ranked and fully chartered institute of Pakistan. Established through a legislative act of Sindh Assembly, it is approved and recognized by the Higher Education Commission of Pakistan as a degree awarding institution. All the programs offered at Szabist are consistent with the guidelines laid by HEC and other regulatory bodies. Szabist comprises of 5 campuses located in Karachi, Hyderabad, Larkana, Islamabad, and Dubai, with a current student population of over 11,000. Szabist has proudly awarded degrees to over 14,500 talented graduates. Our alumni are sought by national and multinational organizations and hold key positions in several reputable firms at national and international level. Szabist offers undergraduate, graduate, and postgraduate degrees in 6 different disciplines, namely management sciences, computer sciences, media sciences, education and social sciences, mechatronic engineering, and biosciences. In addition, Szabist also offers LLB program and a BA/BS program as external programs in affiliation with the University of London and Coventry University, UK, respectively. Talking specifically about the Mechatronics department, Szabist offers a 4-year, 8-semester BE Mechatronics degree program, which is accredited by Pakistan Engineering Council. This program has also received 7 stars, which is a world-class rating by the Chartered Inspection and Evaluation Committee, CIEC. Szabist is the pioneer university to offer this program at undergraduate level in the province of Sindh. The program is essentially a day program and consists of 46 courses with a total of 140 credit hours. Szabist also offers M.Sc Mechatronics engineering degree with 2 specializations, namely robotics and industrial automation and smart electromechanical systems. The program is of 2 years duration and is offered in the evening. The objectives of the Mechatronics program are to provide a broad and basic education in multiple disciplines comprised of mechanical, electronics, and computer engineering, to ensure that the students in the program are exposed to a wide spectrum of engineering knowledge and practice. Upon completion of their degree, graduates will be able to be competent mechatronics engineers who are knowledgeable, skillful, and able to resolve complex engineering problems, have an inclination towards research and lifelong learning, and be able to promote entrepreneurial ideas, be effective engineers with leadership qualities, high morals, and professional ethics. Graduates with a mechatronics degree can take up careers in a wide spectrum of industries, including robotics, aerospace, chemical, defense, automotive, manufacturing, health, and medical. The purpose of this webinar is to enlighten the youth about mechatronics and robotics and its future, be it in Pakistan or abroad, with reference to Szabist University and its mechatronics program. Keeping this goal in mind, the topic for today's webinar is the future of mechatronics and robotics. Starting off our discussion, I would like to introduce our guest, starting off with Mr. Danial Siddique, who is a customer experience engineer at Lucky Motor Corporation, Ms. Aniqa Noor, who is a student of M.Sc Mechatronics from the batch of 2019, Mr. Mohammed Tayyab, AM Electrical Stile, I think he joined us as well, AM Electrical working in Stile, also enrolled in the M.Sc Mechatronics from the batch of 2019. Mr. Hamza Ahmed, BE and M.Sc Mechatronics, currently also working in Szabist Mechatronics department as a lab engineer. And Mr. Musaab Arif, assistant manager working in Indus Motors. Honorable guests, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to tonight's webinar on the future of mechatronics and robotics. I'd like to request you to introduce yourself by telling our viewers a bit about yourself, your education and career, your aspirations, and what interests you in the field of robotics and mechatronics. So if I could start the discussion with Ms. Aniqa.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Aniqa and I've done my graduation from NAD in electrical engineering. Then I joined Supaco and there I stayed for 4 years. And due to my children, I just quit my job and now I am enrolled in this Master's Mechatronics program, because it's a vast field and new emerging technology as robots and automation industry, they all required mechatronics engineer. That's why I'm enrolled in this subject. Thank you.
Mujtaba, your mic is mute a little. We can't hear you.
Sorry, my mistake. First times. Tayyab, if you could also introduce yourself.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Tayyab, and by profession I am an engineer, and by passion I am a programmer. And I graduated in electronics from M.Sc University in 2016. I have approximately 5 years of experience in the field of electrical instrumentation. Now I'm working in a Stile company as an
Mujtaba, again your mic.
Sorry. So I really appreciate Tayyab about your experience. Yeah, I'm understand completely there. Moving on to Sir Hamza Ahmed from the batch of 2014, a colleague and coursemate of mine. Sir Hamza, could you please tell us about your experience and your aspiration?
Thank you for inviting me today, Mujtaba. My name is Hamza Ahmed, and I'm BE Mechatronics from Szabist 2018, and currently I'm enrolled in Masters from NUST ENECG in Controls Engineering, and I'm currently working in Szabist as a junior lecturer. Why Mechatronics? I think way back in 2014 when I decided to be a part of Mechatronics or to be a part of some engineering program, Mechatronics inspires me a little. I think the appreciation that it brings to the different aspects of it, it's quite overwhelming, and when you are the domain and you're doing things which gives you an edge over other engineers just different field, it gives that's and then the automation, everything coming into place. So Mechatronics was one of the, I think, good decision that I took way back in 2014, which is bringing me to now.
That's excellent here, Hamza. And I remember when a little introduction about me and Hamza. We are both course-mates from 24th batch of 2014, and we've had the best time of our life. We studying in the BE Mechatronics department. We've learned so much, and we've excelled so much and progressed so much in life. I think that is that all that credit goes to Szabist and his faculty. Sir, moving on to Sir Musaab Arif. Sir, if you could give us an introduction about yourself.
Yes, thank you, Mujtaba, for this great opportunity. So, my name is Musaab Arif. I have graduated bachelor's from NED University in 2016 in electrical department, and I have been with Indus Motors company since that time, and I'm still working there. Right now, I'm enrolled in the mechatronics department for pursuing the master's degree. So why mechatronics? This was a childhood dream of mine to operate robots or even know how it's troubleshooting and everything others. So this is a great platform for me to learn what it is and how to actually be in the new moving era for this world.
Thank you, Mr. Musaab. And I think we, all of us mechatronics engineers here, I think we have the same ambitions, and it's really, aspiring for what you've told us about how you aimed and ambitions and how you always dreamed about working about robotics. And I think it's a childhood dream of almost everyone here in Pakistan to work with robots and be, on the cutting edge of technology. With that, we'll be moving on to Mr. Danial Siddique. If you could please give us an introduction, sir. I think Mr. Danial is having some network issues, be that as it how it is in Pakistan. Sir Danial, can you hear us? I think your voice is cutting out. It's sounding a little bit robotic. I think you should check your internet connection. All right. When Mr. Danial can, in the meantime, fix his internet connection. Let's move on to first section. So with that, I'd just like to open the discussion with our first question. I'd just like to repeat the topic for today is the future of mechatronics and robotics. It's a general topic, but we're not specifically targeting Pakistan, or we're not targeting South Asia. We're talking about internationally and locally when we talk about the future. So, our first question that I'm going to put towards the panel is, what do you think is the scope of mechatronics internationally and in Pakistan? So, I'd like to request Sir Musaab, if you could, start the discussion.
Yeah, the future of mechatronics in the international world is that because we are moving towards automation as well as automating all the processes and having less human interaction and more efficiency. So each and every industry or manufacturing or any other pharmaceutical or any other company would like to convert its operations from human terms or manual to automatic. So that is one great advantage which we mechatronics have as compared to any other field. And in Pakistan, it is being introduced, which was not as per the last 10 or 15 years ago, where each and every country was have been introducing the robots for their manufacturing lines. So it is a great start for each of the companies which have been introducing over here. So I think that's my opinion about it.
Mustafa, mic again.
Good. Sorry, my mistake. It's a new habit of turning off my mic. So one person that I really appreciate, but would be a really good person when we talk about the future and mechatronics specifically, is someone who is actually teaching in the mechatronics department. So Mr. Hamza, when we talk about mechatronics and its scope in Pakistan or internationally, you are one of the leading people who we should be pitching this question to, given that you are teaching the youth of Pakistan and you are grooming the future mechatronics engineers of Pakistan. So what is your opinion about the scope of mechatronics engineering?
Thank you, Mustafa. Students, when they come to mechatronics, the idea that they have is the mechatronics is just robotics and nothing else. Let me clear that this thing, the mechatronics is more than what mechatronics is just not robotics. It's more to it. Recently, I was just having a discussion with my batchmates, and they were all in some different fields. Me being in academics, one of my friend was a data analyst in Affinity, and the deviation from an academics to a data analyst, it's totally different. And I think mechatronics is the only field that has allowed this to happen. Because if someone would not have a computer programming background, he or she would not be able to be a part of a data analyst thing. So mechatronics gives you insights of more than just being specified to a certain thing. One of my friends was in Unilever in supply chain logistics. That's the other aspect of it. Mechatronics, when we deal with the economics project management, and when we deal with leadership and motivation skills, that's one aspect of mechatronics. Because we engineers sometimes feel that we are good at making things, but we can't speak up. We can't sell our idea. And this is where I think people like those who have gone to those domains have given us an idea that we can achieve that too. It does not your technical skills. Your soft skills are as much important as your technical skills, because you may be very good at your technical skills, but when you're not able to speak up, when you're not able to sell what you have in your mind, then there's no future to it. Mechatronics has, you need to broaden up your imagination when you're thinking about mechatronics. Don't specify. Yes, robotics is one of the major aspects of it, because the automation and all the companies want less human intervention so they can achieve higher accuracy, and the safety protocols are being upgraded with the automation coming in. So there's things to it, but you have to be very clear in your thought process that you can be a good programming while you study object-oriented programming and computer programming with C+ and Python languages. You may be very good at electrical thing when you be taught MATLAB. You can be in simulating things. And if you're on the mechanical side, then there's plenty of softwares, because mostly before applying to an idea, there's a simulation that comes into place. SolidWorks, AutoCAD, they all give you an idea of what are you planning to make. You have to come out of that comfort zone and not just stick yourself to a certain thing, and diverse yourself, because with this COVID era and how much we have been affected by this, you have to have a specialization or a know-how about more than one thing in order to succeed. What I have learned in the coming 2 years, in the 2 years that's gone by, the pre-COVID era, after the COVID thing and everything like this, since 2019, the online education, we never thought we'll move to an online education. We all adapted to that. And now with bringing some simulation software that we can teach students and be at par with this, because as things may differ, the situation may differ, but the quality of education remains same, and that is very, very important. Students sometimes just recently, today only, I was having my class, and one of the students came and said, "Sir, there's a problem that we are not getting internship." I said, "Haven't you done anything to get the internship?" And he was like, "No, I haven't done anything, but I'm not getting internship." So this is not how you will get internship. You need to strive hard. You need to look for areas. You need to first put yourself where you want to go in future, which domain it is, and then apply on those terms. Because if you're still undecided whether you want to be a part of this domain of mechatronics, the other domain of the mechatronics, this is when you are just wasting your time. You need to be I think this is what we have started doing with the students. Yes, we can teach them. Teaching them is great, but I think making them walk on a path where they can lead up to a certain thing, and this is very important. So yeah, mechatronics is, I think, was very important. I think I've taken a lot of time. Thank you.
No problem. It's an informal discussion between us engineers. Like you said, when I studied in mechatronics engineering, I was more or less a jack of all trades, because I not only learned about business, I learned about entrepreneurial skills, I learned about speaking, I learned about leadership and management techniques, and I learned engineering as well, like a combination of life skills, soft and hard skills. So I think Mr. Danial has joined us as well. After Mr. Danial, he can give us an introduction. I'll give you a short introduction about myself and how Szabist groomed me to be the person that I am today. I'm sitting here in front of you. So, Sir Danial, are you available with us? Can you hear us? If you could give the introduction. I think Sir Danial is having a few issues with his internet. And so, continuing on, I just like to give you a small introduction about myself. I wanted to, put it at the end, after everyone had given their introduction, but I think Sir Daniel's having some issues. So after, I always starting off from how I became a mechatronics engineer, how I came into Szabist University. I always was interested in working with drones. When we talk about unmanned aerial vehicles and ground vehicles or sea vehicles, I was just interested in making drones. That's what my goal was coming out of intermediate. I just wanted to design and fabricate my own drones. So I found that Szabist and its faculty and its coursework could be, make me a good drone engineer in the future. So 2 years down the line, I was fully capable of designing and fabricating my own drones. And my final year project was a drone that could fly in the air and go underwater as well. So that's a testament not to my capability, but to the faculty and the coursework that Szabist has. That grooms you to become the person that you are as well. So during my time, I was I learned a lot about speaking and presentation and organizational presentation skills, which is one of my strongest skills, because of which I am here today. So a combination of your leadership techniques and a combination of your technical skills. I think that is what completes a good mechatronics engineer, and that prepares him for the corporate market as well, for the technical market as well, I would rather say. So, excellently put, Sir Hamza. And Sir Danial, I think we are having you're having a little internet issues. It's perfectly fine. So, Ms. Aniqa, I think you're the last one. I think he's still having some issues. So, all right. So, Ms. Aniqa, would you like to tell us about something about mechatronics and what the scope of it is?
I think mechatronics is there every okay. Mechatronics is in every industry. It's not about robots, and actually, it's about finding the faults in machines, and it's also there in medical equipment because and like you can say Internet of Things and. So we cannot simply say that mechatronics is specific for any field or any industry, because when we talk about computer vision, when we talk about AI, so almost in every industry, and they are moving towards AI technology, and it is a part of mechatronics. And definitely automation industry, everyone, all industry is moving toward automation. They all want instead of manual efforts, they want something very precise and accurate result. So they are moving toward robotics and robots applications like in assembling of different machines, paintings, and fabrication industry. Apart from that, like in a surgical instrument, like if we talk about medical equipment, surgical instruments, and distance-based medical facilities, what they are providing, doctors are providing, staying at home, and they can access through internet, and they can see and look after the or monitor the patients. So mechatronics is a combination of all these electrical, mechanical, computer, and AI technology, and it has application everywhere in every field, every industry. We cannot just say it's specific to some industry, from space exploration to mining the oil field in the sea oil field mining. So everywhere there is mechatronics involved.
I remember to turn on my mic. That's perfect. I understand completely. Mechatronics has become a key component of our lives today. We talk about home automation and Internet of Things, and we see self-driving cars, for example, which is one of the clearest examples of what a mechatronic system can achieve. AI, robotics, data analytics, they're all an all-encompassing part, in a way, a branch of mechatronics. So Ms. Aniqa is absolutely right when she says that mechatronics has become a key, integral of our lives. When we talk about home automation, for example, which is one of the fields that is on the rise in Pakistan. A lot of firms here in Pakistan are, focusing on home automation. A lot of the people, they have started to learn how home automation could, give them ease of life. Could increase their luxury. So, that is on the growth. And these are all part of mechatronics and all-encompassing part of mechatronics. And I really appreciate your input on this. When we talk about life and mechatronics being one and one. So, Tayyab, I would like to ask you our second question. What are the current developments in the field of robotics, and what is your experience per se when we talk about the current developments? So not the future, the current developments in the field of robotics. So, Tayyab.
Thank you, Mujtaba. And nowadays, our manufacturing or processing industries is continuously upgrading their manual systems to automatic systems. So we need to automate the systems, the control loops, the processes. So we need
I think we're having some internet difficulties. तकनीकी खराबियां कहना चाहिए. सर हमजा, आप कंटिन्यू करना चाहेंगे? आप बताना चाहेंगे हमारे नाज़रीन को about the current developments of mechatronics and robotics?
Yeah. Thank you, Isla. I think the current developments would be, I think one of the developments that I have seen is the automation that's being an implementation of IoT with mechatronics. I think many company owners, they want everything on the cloud computing now. They don't want it to be on paper based. Everything they want to access with their cell phones in their hand. Like if you are a company owner and you are still not on your site, but you are at your home and you can just view of all the machines are working accurately. There's the production is on track, or is there something that's been missing out? So I think stuff like those are now taking into place. But I think one major problem that comes here in Pakistan, especially, is the labor that we have is quite cheaper than implementing the IoT here. So I think whenever you go to an industry and ask them or propose your idea to them, and they said it's a little costly out there, and we can manage those with this amount of this number of labors. But I think there's one thinking like this, and the other, I think they say that okay, we'll just upgrade our workers, the layman who can automate or who can just look things to other, or they can interface with an HMI. I think that's what is important. If you can interface with an HMI, because now and then you won't be going to the machine and looking what the problem is. So the HMI becomes a communication thing between the worker and the machine. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things that's going around with the automation, with the IoT in place, the cloud computing, the machine learning thing, and I think in the films I've seen the cars going around, and when we used to say it's a fiction thing that's going around, but now in this day of age, this is becoming a reality that can be a self driving car. There can be a self-walking robot. So the things that are coming into place, just that we need to put our perspective right and make sure that we follow what we dream of. Like I've seen you throughout 4 years that you've been quite passionate about drones, and you achieved that right from the start till the end. You tried to make one of the guns which were not approved by some of the professors. So yeah, you had that passion. I think the prime example that can be said that if you have passion and if you are willing to do, you'll succeed. Sooner or later, it will take time, but I think you will achieve what you want to. So yes, I think mechatronics itself gives you a wide range, and it's growing. It will take a little time. The mechatronics engineers are now being considered because they feel like they can do work of two different engineers. Yet they've been considered, given a little upper edge, and but it doesn't give as long as you're not sound and you're not good at the technical thing, then there's no way that you'll be sustaining. One is getting in, and the other thing is sustaining there. So you might get in, but you won't be able to work or go with the flow. So I think it's very important that you need to fix your goals and then work as required.
I completely understand, and a nice flashback to our times back at Szabist when I was trying to make something. Let's not say what I was trying to make. Said Musaab, if you could tell us, all right, we're gonna, said Musaab, we're gonna have a, take your input on the current developments of robotics and mechatronics, and after that we will go towards a social media question from one of our viewers. I think a lot of the questions are being, the first in first out question. We'll follow that first in first out. But before we go towards our social media section, Said Musaab, if you could tell us about the current developments of robotics and mechatronics and your experience specifically regarding that.
Yes, thank you, Mujtaba. Yeah, the thing regarding the current affairs within the mechatronics and in the Pakistan region is हम आजकल जैसे वो कर रहे हैं कि automation is also part of the mechatronics. So automation is very much needed in the industries. और automation के बगैर हम कोई काम नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. हम चाहते हैं कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ऑटोमेटेड हो सारी चीज़ें, और एक इनपुट हम दे दें कहीं एक टच पैनल से या फिर पुश बटन से, और वो ज़्यादातर प्रोसेसेस आगे चले जाएं. तो उसमें हमको बहुत आसानी भी मिल जाती है, और उसके ज़रिए ज़्यादातर चीज़ें PLCs वगैरह ये सब चीज़ें हमारे लिए बहुत एक अहम रोल किरदार कर रही है हर इंडस्ट्री में. कोई आपको ऐसी इंडस्ट्री नज़र नहीं आएगी जहाँ पे PLCs इस्तेमाल ना हो रही हों. कोई ऐसी प्रोसेस नहीं है जहाँ पे ऑटोमेशन नहीं हो रही है. कोई ना कोई छोटा मोटा ही क्यों ना हो, वहाँ पे ऑटोमेशन ज़रूर इस्तेमाल हो रही है, चाहे आपका किसी भी तरीके का हो। अब वो आपका रोबोटिक्स में भी आपका सबसे ज़्यादा वो आ जाता है, क्योंकि रोबोट इज़ ऑटोमेटेड एंड इट विल वर्क बेस्ड ऑन द प्रोग्राम विच इज़ fed into it, and the programs are as per the process design for each and every industry. It is very different, even if the robots used are the same. It is used for different purposes. The robotic arms, the end effector, सब चीज़ें अलग होती हैं। ये प्रोसेस के हिसाब से डिफरेंट कर देते हैं और उसके हिसाब से फिर आगे लेके चलते हैं। तो इसमें पाकिस्तान में मैकाट्रॉनिक्स की ज़रूरत है और ये चलते हुए आ रही है, लेकिन इसकी इतनी अवेयरनेस नहीं है। ये आहिस्ता आहिस्ता करके अवेयरनेस आ रही है सबको, और ये फिर आगे फ्यूचर ही यही है।
बिल्कुल मिस्टर सर मुसाब, आपने बिल्कुल एक सही दिशा में आप इस डिस्कशन को लेकर गए कि इट इज द फ्यूचर, और ये हर जगह मैकेट्रॉनिक्स जो है इट हैज इनकम्पस ऑल फील्ड्स ऑफ लाइफ, और यही फ्यूचर है। एक नए ग्रेजुएट, मतलब मैं अगर अपना एग्जांपल दूं तो इंटरमीडिएट से पास होने के बाद कुछ अच्छे नंबर हमने गलती से ले लिए पढ़ के थोड़ा सा, तो हमने सोचा कि हम लोग क्या करना चाहते हैं अपनी जिंदगी में। तो मैंने सोचा कि यार मैं कुछ ऐसी चीज करना चाहता हूँ जो कि आगे आने वाले वक्तों में उसका जिसका एक ग्रोथ हो, जिसकी एक फील्ड हो, जिसकी एक किसी में लेवल पे मैं काम कर सकूं उसके साथ। तो जब हम बात करते हैं अबाउट माय व्हेन आई ग्रेजुएटेड फ्रॉम इंटरमीडिएट, मैंने जैसे बताया मैं ड्रोन्स में काम करना चाहता था। फिर मुझे रियलाइज हुआ कि इस ख्वाब को मुकम्मल तकमील करने के लिए आई नीड टू बिकम एन इंजीनियर। पहला 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 स्टेप ये था कि इंजीनियर बनना चाहिए। दूसरा स्टेप ये था कि कौन सा इंजीनियर बनना चाहिए। तो फिर मैंने स्टडी किया कि मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंजीनियर, कंप्यूटर साइंसेज इंजीनियर, टेलीकॉम इंजीनियर, chemical engineer, civil engineer. Then there are like 10 other fields जिसको मैं I don't even remember. So engineering is a vast field. So I thought, why not do a field that would give me a horizontal level of knowledge. I want to know about. I'm a curious person by nature. I want to know about mechanics. I want to know about electronics. I want to know about telecommunications. I want to know about computer sciences as well. जाने ना पाए, हर चीज सीखनी चाहिए इंसान को as a soft and a hard skill. So then I selected mechatronics engineering, after doing my SWOT analysis. And Sir Danial, I think he's good. He can't join us today, but I wanted to give you my introduction. When I graduated from my university at Szabist, it was my lifelong ambition to work for the defense industry. When we talk about drones, specifically for the defense industry, I didn't want to make civilian drones. I wanted to work in the defense industry. So the great thing about my education and my capabilities, all credit goes to my parents and my university, is 3 months, 4 months down the line after graduating, I found myself working in Pakistan Ordnance factories as an assistant manager in the research and development directorate. And I was at the helm of 2 key projects. And it was one of my biggest fears when I was joining the job industry. अगर हम बात करें कि मैं जब पहले दिन ऑफिस में गया तो मैं उससे पहले सोच रहा था कि यार ऐसा ना हो कि मैं जाऊं और मुझे कुछ पता ना। मतलब ये बहुत सारे लोगों के साथ है, पहली जॉब होती है, पहली इंटर्नशिप होती है या पहला कोई भी काम होता है, तो वो जाते हैं, दे हैव दिस फियर के दे डोंट वांट कि आप जाएं और वहां पे इमीडिएटली आप ब्लैंक हो जाए। बट अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह ऐसा नहीं हुआ। एज mechatronics engineer, it was specifically a mechanical related job, but when I went there as a mechatronics engineer, I fully understood all the things, all the nits and bits about research and development and reverse engineering. Because as mechatronics engineer, you're not only a robotics engineer, but you are the perfect candidate for reverse engineering as well. So I think you put it very excellently, and I'd like to take this forward towards social media. We'll take one of the questions from social media, and I think Miss Aniqa would be the perfect candidate to answer this question. It's Miss Munail Fatima. She's asking us, being a girl, what is the scope of engineering? For example, if I did my bachelor's in mechatronics, then what kind of job will I get? As I heard from my childhood that engineering is for men only. Miss Aniqa.
Okay. There is no gender specific jobs. Alhamdulillah, now everybody is aware of having equal opportunities for men as well as women. And one thing I will say, we must encourage all the women, all the girls to come up with new field, and don't make it just like if you are thinking about machines. So it is something like heavy machines. Definitely, in every field there are different branches. So, for example, if you are talking about mechatronics, so it's not about you are going to handle big machines. Definitely, there are sub branches of mechatronics, so you can do specialization in that field. And I must tell you about my experience. When I joined 𝗘𝗧𝗏𝗧, I was the only engineer in satellite department. And initially, I was very much confused. Wow, I'm the only girl. But eventually, I get used to the environment, and definitely support of all my colleague members. I was able to adjust, and I didn't face any such problem. So, and I don't think women should be strong enough to adjust, to adapt any environment. And here, the men, they do consider if there is a woman or a girl working alone, they do help, they do care. So it's not about that. And I was too much passionate of working in 𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏, and alhamdulillah, I got that opportunity. So it's all about your vision, your mission, and of course, your support. So there are you cannot restrict that engineering is for boys, and alhamdulillah, I worked very well over there, and I spent 4 years. So it's everywhere you must be able to adjust. You must be strong enough, and I feel the environments are good for women as well.
I
Mustafa,
completely understand. Gigi,
Mustafa,
would you like?
allow me, can I ask Ma'am Aniqa one question?
Sure, please. If you want to ask a question, feel free to.
First of huge respect that you're continuing after some gap. I just want you to express your motivation to the young female, that what kept you motivated to achieve your goal, and you're still doing MS from Szabist in mechatronics. So, ma'am, what made you do this, and what kept you motivated after a gap, that you still want to be a part of the industry, and you still want to pursue your career? If you could tell the younger females, those who I think in very early just lose hope that they can't study after doing all their household things and all. Ma'am, if you could really give this a little thought to it.
This is a very good question. And yes, definitely because of family, because of children, girls, women, they have to sacrifice their career. And that's what I and most of my family member women, they used to do that. And after, because now my children are quite independent, so we returned back to our field. No doubt it was very cumbersome I forgot each and every terminologies of engineering. So with time and with the help of teachers, I was able to cope up with the class. Initially in first semester, I didn't do well. But gradually with the help of my classmates and teachers, I was able to do that. And I will say, I will also encourage all girls and ladies who have quitted their job because of their children, that they can come back. And if I'm talking about mechatronics, then still there are some room for example, if you are doing something from home, there are some software industries and they are giving you some tasks you can do home-based, like AI, using AI technology, or you can do software coding, you can develop software, FPGA-based system that you can easily handle at home as well. So it's really good for women as well to return back. And usually in our family, we used to do that. When the kids are grown up, we return back and do something, whatever is convenient or suitable for us.
Yeah, I understand your perspective as well. It's when we talk about Miss Manail, I really appreciate your question, and it is really relevant today regarding what we are facing in Pakistan. So, Pakistan being a progressive and slightly liberal country, where women are now engaging in multiple other fields, which were usually, they used to be male dominated. When we talk about Air Force, one of our shining examples is 𝗪𝗧𝗍𝗧𝗧𝗧. When we talk about other fields as well, technology, I'll give you a personal example. My director for research and development was a lady engineer who had almost 27 years of experience, and she was one of the most learned people that I had the opportunity and honor of learning from. So it's not dependent on, it depends on your mindset. But however, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, it does not depend on the gender. It depends on your mindset. It depends on your ambitions, your aims, and what type of grooming that you have. So if I've seen male engineers who are outstanding in their field, I've seen lady engineers who are equally, if not excelling them in their field as well. So it does not depend on gender. It depends on your mindset, your education, and your grooming. So I think Sir Hamza, he disconnected during the discussion. Ms. Aniqa, she answered your question as well. Sir Hamza, I'd just like to take one question from you. I've skipped this. I apologize. So, Ms. Samra Hussain, she asks, what hands-on skills did you work on while pursuing your undergrad degree as a mechatronics engineer, other than AutoCAD, SolidWorks, and MATLAB? Sir Hamza, please.
I think the on-hand experience, I think when we talk about microcontrollers, I think Arduino was one of those that helped me a lot in programming and things. Raspberry Pi is one of those devices that I worked on. My FYP was IoT based, so the cloud computing and all the taking sensor the data of the sensors from the machine and then making sure that it is stored on Arduino, given on Raspberry Pi, and then to cloud computing, then to the mobile platform. If you're Android Studio, if you know Android Studio a little bit, you can make a application of that. So those were the experiences that those were on hand thing that I did. I think if I remember more than that, in the latest, CS control system is one of those that fascinated me, and that's why I chose to be a part of control systems as a master student here in NUST. I think when you think of a plant, the controller and the designing of that, I think that fascinates me a lot, because the multiple inputs coming, that then there's external environment disturbance coming, and you need to eliminate all of that. Since in the real world you can't eliminate many of this, but you can limit as much as possible, and you need to consider the error, because in real and in simulations there are two different worlds. Simulation, you might get a straight curve and you say, yeah, it's perfect, but when you put those things into practical thing, then there's a lot of variation to it. So there's many things to it. I think control systems is one of the things. One thing I remember, there's a robot here in Szabist that we used to call a Danny robot, and Mujtaba would be knowing about it. So it was a wired robot, and it was moving all around the lab with a long, I think, like a 10-meter wire was to it, and it was all around the lab. So I think me and two of my group members, we realized that what can be done, because the instructor was just running with the robot and wasn't looking nice. We think, what can we do to remove that wired thing? And then we had the idea of putting an Ethernet module to it, and we made it wireless, and we communicated with the software. And alhamdulillah, till now it's been working, and it's a innovation that we thought we can bring into an existing system. So there's many aspects to it. I think you need to think that where there's something that you can observe, and then think of a solution that you can provide. I think that's when half the battle is won. Because if you have that analytical thinking with you, that yeah, if this is something like this, I can transform it into something like this, I think you can put it into practical work, because there is a back end of technical information to it. But the thinking process that needs to speed it up a little bit.
Mic is on. All right. So I understand completely. I just like to take this discussion on a different tangent. I think, Sir Danial, are you with us? Can you hear us? Can you, give us? I think Sir Daniel is still having an issue, and one of the key issues that mechatronics engineers should be looking into is to how to fix the internet in Pakistan. That is also a problem that we are facing. So I see a lot of, as I was saying, I wanted to take this discussion on a different tangent. We talk about mechatronics, its scope, its future, current developments, everything. But I'm seeing a lot of questions regarding artificial intelligence, data analytics, manufacturing analytics. So one of the questions that I would like to ask Sir Musaab, if you have any experience or if you would like to, enlighten us. Data analytics, AI, robotics, is there a connection and is there a future?
Regarding the data analytics, I have no experience regarding it. However, for the robotics and the AI, yes, AI is a sort of computer programming where the program itself becomes mature as time goes on, as it works on itself. However, that and robotics cannot be interrelated, as the robot can only work on the predefined programs as per the design parameters or the situation where it is placed at. So learning new stuff for it is, I don't suppose it is a good idea for it, because the process will be the same. There will be minute changes, or even if there will be a change, that will be taken as a 4-year or 5-year plan. And after 4 or 5 years, any changes will occur which will need the programming to be changed. So AI will be working for the best where the process is changing very dramatically on daily basis or even hourly, which each and every mechatronics engineer would work on it if he is good in the programming field. However, for someone like me who is very bad at it, I don't even recommend it for myself or for any other person.
That's perfectly fine. The way I look at it, मैंने mechanical के art course थे हमजा, मैं भूल तो नहीं रहा, नंबर ही शायद ना भूल गया हूँ मैं, और आर्ट ही थे। चले शुक्र है, एटलीस्ट इतना तो मुझे याद है कि आर्ट कोर्स थे। और
Mujtaba,
Mike.
सॉरी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स के भी इतने ही 6 आर्ट कोर्सेज थे, और कंप्यूटर साइंस के भी स्टडीड ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग, आईटीसी एंड फर्दर प्रोग्रामिंग, all that stuff. And we talk about microcontroller programming and Arduino programming and Python and Raspberry Pi and so on. One of the things that I could never grasp, it depends person to person. Like Sir Musaab told us that he is more interested in mechanics because he's working in Indus Motors and his job is specifically related to mechanics, or maybe electronics as well. But one of the things that I could never grasp, it's not because of the course content or the course was too difficult. It was because of me. I could never grasp it. I never had any interest in it programming. And now that I have graduated, and it's been almost 2 to 3 years, I'm in my master's program, about to graduate inshallah as well. I realize now, looking at the job market, if my computer sciences skills were up to par with those of computer science graduates, the COVID era was a big boom for the job market for the computer sciences graduates. They could work from home, and they could earn their money, they could earn their living, and they could gain experience while sitting at the comfort of their home, at the comfort and luxury of their home. While me, as an engineer who is more of an integration or a systems engineer or a mechanical engineer, I had to go towards the field, and I had to have hands-on visuals so that I could work with my equipment. But for someone who is a CS graduate, he does not need that. So mechatronics, it gave me an opportunity, although I did not avail it, is to become a good programmer as well, be it any kind of program. So Sir Musaab, I completely understand. I think Sir Hamza could tell me a little bit about data analytics, AI, and robotics, because he's working in the university, he's working in the academia, and I think he might have had a few colleagues as well who are working in the data analytics. And then we'll come back to Ms. Aniqa.
Yeah, yes. Thank you, Mujtaba. Yeah, definitely. I think there's this a different aspect to it. Like with mechatronics, I think mechatronics gives you a glimpse of AI. It gives you a glimpse of machine learning. But then you need to little come up with your master's program. You need to up it a little bit, because it not entirely will give you an insight of what artificial intelligence and machine learning is, but it will give you a little bit glimpse of it. Like if I consider myself, IoT was quite new to me back in 2018, but I went into it. I did my FYP with it, and Alhamdulillah, I was able to, and it wasn't funded as FYP, because the companies thought that it is something which would be the need for the future, and they really helped, and they were really supportive to us. So with artificial intelligence, I think there's many things. One thing that comes to my mind when I think of all of these is the biomedical thing. With I think with one of our alumni is making the hand and limbs and hands with those technologies. I think I don't remember his name, but he's doing that. I think that's one of the things you can do. You can with X-rays and all. I think the ventilators would become a new thing when this COVID hit. So this is where you can come up with an idea. So I think there are things that you need to consider, and I think you will be one. I think what we as a faculty do here at Mechatronics is not entirely putting everything into it. It's giving them a post start, because the students, they should be able to think on their own. When they be able to think their own, this is when they'll bring the best out of them. Because when you spoon feed them, they'll work until you stop spoon feeding them. So you need to make sure that you are there, always there for them, but they should be bringing their thought, and they'll be sharing their ideas, and then you'll be helping them out. This is when I think it will help them a lot in their future.
I understand completely, and I'm just going to take this discussion towards our social media section as well, क्योंकि बहुत सारे नाज़रीन और listeners हमारे साथ हैं इस वक्त, और उनके भी सवालात बहुत अहम है हमारे लिए, और हम उनके भी जवाबात देंगे. कोशिश करूंगा कुछ जवाबात मैं खुद ही दे दूं जो मैं समझता हूँ mechatronics डिपार्टमेंट से रिलेटेड हैं, और they're specifically directed towards the degree program. So I think one of the questions was, is Szabist Mechatronics department or Mechatronics degree, BE or MS, accredited? So Alhamdulillah, yes, all of the batches of Szabist Mechatronics department, BE Mechatronics or MS Mechatronics, is not only accredited and registered with HEC, but is also registered with PEC. So your degree is completely verified, and there's no hurdles towards you applying for professional degree here at Szabist.
Add to it.
Say again?
Can I add to it the accreditation thing? It's been accredited with the Washington Accord 2 also. I think the degree has been our mechatronics has been accredited with Washington Accord 2, and that's the highest state that when an engineering degree can be accredited. So it's one of the recent advantages that we have got with the Washington Accord signing. So that's one more aspect to where the accreditation is.
Absolutely, and I remember one of our batches after 2019. It was the batch that was accredited according to the Washington Accord. That's a good tidbit that Mr. Hamza could tell us. And I'm just scanning a few questions from social media. I think we'll ask a few from Sir Musaab and Sir Aniqa as well. Just give me a moment over there. Let's highlight. Right, so I think I'm seeing a lot of questions regarding mechatronics, AI, and biotechnology as well. I remember, one person is asking us, is mechatronics applicable towards biotechnology and to to the field of medical science as well. So I remember one of our seniors, Mr. Sir Anas Niaz, and he's working in bionics and viscous core. He is one of the pioneers of biomechatronics in Pakistan. He has developed a robotic prosthetic for amputees, of all ages, that are being utilized through myocardial sensors. So basically, in layman terms, if you think your hand should move, the prosthetic will move as well. And I think it was one of the key advancements that Sir Anas has brought towards biotechnology and biorobotics in Pakistan. So and I think that is one of the fields that since he is a mechatronics engineer, I think that is gave him a great push towards his great idea about having a robotics based prosthetic for amputees. I remember that, Hamza.
Mustafa, let me add some points as well. For it can be worked in for any other fields as well, क्योंकि यहाँ पे जैसे bio engineering आ रही है और like medical, it can be working because doctors have to use precise areas where they have to operate in as well. So it is a great key advantage. They can do it remotely as well. The programming or any other functions which they have to key input into the system, that can also be worked for the medical as well as for aerospace as well, for creating the shuttles and any other flight equipment. So it has many advantages, and it can work at any course of the field.
Yeah, I completely relate with you. And when we talk about aeronautics and aerospace, it's mechatronics is one of the key fields. Ms. Aniqa, I think we've been learning you for a longer time now. I think I'm going to ask you a difficult question. I hope you're ready for it. So one of our viewers, he's asking us, as a MS Mechatronics students also working in the engineering field, what would you suggest should be included in your MS curriculum to give more benefits to our upcoming students? So what do you think should be added to the MS program here at Szabist when we talk about mechatronics, Ms. Aniqa?
For right now, I can say, because due to pandemic, we were facing a lot of problems. So, but like I have expertise in embedded systems. So currently, you can say that we can include FPGA based digital designing and like a VHDL and Verilog, so that you can move on to the or you can say more accurate and fast devices. And currently what I have seen that Intel is also developing FPGA, and that can incorporate AI technology. So because everyone is moving towards more faster technology or faster result. So I think in mechatronic department, they should go for digital designing as well, because FPGA based designing and robots, they all need quick or more accurate and quick result. So FPGA is the right solution as compared to microcontroller, right?
Really understand with respect to digital designing and FPGA. Sir Musaab, what is your input on what should be included in the MS curriculum so that it is a more enriching experience for graduate students? Sir Musaab, if you could like to tell us.
Yeah, for the MS program right now, the robotics we have already learned during this course, but due to the pandemic, we were unable to even see what an actual robot looks like and how it is being operated, and we were totally dependent on the industry exposure. However, due to the main basics we had over the courses, it was quite helpful, and such simulations on anything which I think is already available over the internet will give a much more robust feedback to the students. That is my opinion, because if a person will have an hands-on experience over the simulation only, then he can also also work in the field for the major one. That I think is one lagging one. And for if we go towards the automation process, we have only learned for the PLCs, and I think there are many other ways which we can process, and I think look up more courses regarding that.
आई अंडरस्टैंड कम्प्लीटली। और सर हमजा आपसे मैं दो सवाल पूछूंगा। आप सर हैं हमारे और हम आपसे मुश्किल सवाल पूछेंगे। पहला सवाल तो ये है कि आप मुझे बताएं कि एमएस प्रोग्राम में क्या मतलब यू स्टडिंग इन अ डिफरेंट यूनिवर्सिटी, तो आप एक डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव, एक डिफरेंट नजरिया जो है विद रिगार्ड्स टू ग्रेजुएट स्टडीज है, एक तो आप हमें वो बताएंगे कि क्या इंक्लूडेड होना चाहिए एमएस के करिकुलम में, और दूसरा आपने हमें बताना है एज फैकल्टी के व्हाट आर द रिक्वायरमेंट्स टू जॉइन एमएस प्रोग्राम एट मैकेट्रॉनिक्स एमएस मैकेट्रॉनिक्स एट ज़ाबिस्ट। सर प्लीज।
Okay. Thank you, Mujtaba. First thing, I think if I talk about admission in mechatronics in MS, I think you should have a degree in electrical, electronics, mechanical from a reputable institute. I think you have a CGP of 3 and above. So you're applicable to be a part of MS Mechatronics in Szabist. The second question, what should be added? I think if I talk about my experience at NAST, I think one thing that I feel like in NAST is they make sure that what is being taught, you can able to teach that same thing to a graduate student. I think same here in Szabist. The core idea of learning is that if you have learned something, you could be able to explain it to a person who's lower in the degree. Like if I'm a student, if I've learned something, I'm able to explain the same thing to a graduate student, to an undergraduate student. This is when this is when I will be able, or you will be able to know that I have understood what being taught. This is one thing that I think we work for, and I think MS since they've been hit by COVID, I think a little bit of labs and the practical exposure would help them a lot. We have tried a lot that we should have labs regularly on campus, but with the prevailing condition, I think it's a bit difficult as because safety is more important. I think we'll inshallah be calling them also for labs and everything. I think as much as the practical exposure and they are getting know-how of the new things, this is when they will able to implement. I think in robotics, Sir Aziman is there with robotics, and I know him personally. He's very great. He's running his own ideas there. So this very, I think if they have got a little more time on campus with the labs running in, they'll be good with the practical knowledge. And I think this is what's required. Little unfortunate with them. I think for now, since it's an early program, the mechatronics, it's just been started. So it's growing, but for now, I think it's quite it covers a lot, because the major thing that we face is that the students who are coming are not entirely from the mechatronics background. They are from different backgrounds. Some are from mechanical, some are from electrical, some are from electronics. So first we need to put them all on the first page, and that's the difficult task that's come through. Because some might have expertise in a mechanical thing, some might have expertise in an electrical thing, and some might have in an electronics thing. But with mechatronics, you need to engage all the aspects of it. Those who are mechatronics and they're pursuing mechatronics, they tend to engage a lot. Those who are not, I'm not saying it, they are doing their best to be a part of it. But I think that's the faculty. I think hats off to the faculty that they make sure that if someone hasn't done mechatronics in the bachelor, he or she is not upper or lower with the other students. And this is where they gel in the students. They make sure that everyone understands each and everything that's been taught. And secondly, I think as for now, I think the curriculum is fine within the HEC thing and TEC thing. Since I think with the I think the current students are enrolled, they would be able to tell it a little better. But what I think is, I think it's totally on track as for now. We can make changes in coming futures, into coming time, but for now I think it's up to the future, up to the task, and up to the mark.
मैं आपका इम्तिहान ले रहा था, मुझे पता था माइक बंद है। अच्छा खैर, तो अगर हम जाते हैं आखिरी हम क्वेश्चंस की तरफ जाते हैं। माजरत अगर कि सोशल मीडिया पे कुछ बहुत सारे लोग हमें सवालात भेजें, मैं माजरत करता हूँ अगर हम लोग सबके जवाबात ना दे सके वक्त की पाबंदियों की वजह से। मैं एक आखिरी सवाल आप सबसे पूछना चाहूंगा, उसके बाद हम कोशिश करेंगे वेबिनार को क्लोज अप करें। ये ऐसा सवाल है कि आई थिंक ये रिगार्डलेस ऑफ बीइंग एन इंजीनियर या सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर या कंप्यूटर साइंसेज या बिजनेस ग्रेजुएट या बीबी, ये हर इंसान के दिमाग में ये सवाल जो है इस वक्त जो है बहुत जोर से सामने आ रहा है। वो ये है कि सेल्फ ड्राइविंग कार्स, एयरक्राफ्ट, सी बेस वेसल्स, टेस्ला की बात की जाए और स्पेस एक्स की बात की जाए, लॉट ऑफ कंपनीज वर्किंग ऑन एयरक्राफ्ट दैट कैन फ्लाई देमसेल्व्स, लॉट ऑफ companies working, specifically Google is working on vehicles that are driving as well other than Tesla. So I would like to ask you guys, self-driving cars, aircraft, sea-based vessels, will we be seeing a growth in these areas? So I'm going to ask Miss Aniqa to enlighten us, and after that Sir Musaab, and then finally Sir Hamza.
If you are talking about sea vessel, exploring oil from marine, so because it is it's the area where you cannot manually go and do deep mining over there. So for that reason, their robots are being developed, and same case is with any other harsh environment. So I think mechatronics or robotics, whatever you say, it is quite obvious that we don't have any other option. We can't go deep sea and look for oil or any other minerals or any other you can even treasures or any other historical things that are available. So for that reason, robots are the only replacement we have. So same case is with automation, like self-driving or whatever you can say. Automation is always there. That's all I know.
Yeah, I completely understand, Ms. Aniqa. When we talk about sea-based exploration, I think one of the fun facts is that after, if there's 70% of the ocean of the sea and the 30% is land-based mass, we've only explored about 0.05 of the sea. So that is one of the biggest frontiers that we should be looking into. But one of the key hurdles that we are facing today is manned exploration of sea is almost impossible. We not only do we not have the resources, we do not have the capability to go underwater to the certain extent. So Mariana's Trench, we cannot go that deep, and we cannot stay there for an extended period of time. And so in that, robotics is an answer. When we talk about sea-based exploration, we could have sea-based drones that are self-navigating, and they could perform oceanography tasks, and they could go underwater and they could map the entire sea for us. That is a goal that we should be looking out to. Sir Musaab, what do you think is the future when we talk about self-driving cars?
You think self-driving cars, for the matter, for even myself, I like to drive by myself. I do not want any other person driving for me. I do not like a driver in the driver's seat. However, for the aircrafts or for space shuttles which we are sending to outer space, every minute detail has to be taken into consideration, and that will only be done through AI or any other programs where the wind pressure
आई थिंक एआई को ये बात बिल्कुल अच्छी नहीं लगी कि उन्होंने कहा कि एआई नहीं होनी चाहिए। तो हम आगे जाएंगे हमजा के पास। हमजा, प्लीज आप हमें बताएं।
Sure, I think, Musa, would you like to continue?
मुसब आपको आवाज आ रही है हमारी, अगर आप कंटिन्यू करना चाहें?
मैं कर लेता हूँ। अभी जैसे बात कर रहा था कि हमारे पास प्रोग्राम्स के ज़रिए ही हम ऑटोमेशन के ज़रिए मैकाट्रॉनिक्स ही वो इस्तेमाल में आ जाएगा और वो सेल्फ ड्राइविंग और स्पेस शटल में इस्तेमाल आ सकती है। तो ये हमारे पास जो क्रिटिकल एरियाज़ होते हैं, क्योंकि स्पेस हो गया, एयर फ्लाइंग थ्रू द एयर, दैट इज़ अ वेरी क्रिटिकल एरिया, and even a minute mistake can take away a life or lives for that matter. Otherwise,
आई थिंक तकनीकी खराबियों की वजह से सिर्फ मुसब का जो है ना इंटरनेट में थोड़ा गड़बड़ है। सिर्फ मुसब आपको दोबारा लेंगे हम लोग वापस। आप कोशिश करें कि आप अपना इंटरनेट की थोड़ी सिचुएशन स्टेटस चेक करें, उस पर भी थोड़ा डेटा एनालिटिक्स और एआई लगाएं। हमजा, आप क्या बताना चाहेंगे हमें कि क्या व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट सेल्फ ड्राइविंग? आई एम गोना आस्क यू द सेम क्वेश्चन।
Yeah, thank you. I think it's a little early right now. It is one of the aspects will come into play, but it's a little early as we're talking about Pakistan and all. Yes, there's some innovation there in abroad, but if you talk specifically about our country, it will take a little time. It's gaining a little one of our FIP projects in the undergraduate. They're doing a drone courier-based service. So there were that's one of the aspects that they've looked for, and they're working on it. And I think there's a flight time of 15 minutes. So within the duration of 15 minutes, they'll be sending one parcel from one place to another. And they're still working on it. So yeah, there's things that are changing a little bit. But as long as the self-driving car and other those artificial intelligence thing that we saying about for Pakistan, a little too early. It will take time, but it will be inshallah one day here. But as Musab said, I also don't want someone else driving my car. I want to drive my own car, and nobody doing that for me. Because you need to, because I think as boys and as males, you have that rush while you're driving the car, and with someone else controlling everything, it takes that feel of driving the car. So I think
Actually, I want to add a few things. I would like to
yeah,
add
but
a few things. It is good for, like, if we just broaden our vision, like for elderly people, for patients. So self-driving car will be really good for them. And for example, there is no one to attend them. And for us, sending our children to school instead of driving them. So definitely there are futures, because we are simply thinking of from one aspect. But for example, if I'm a patient and I'm unable to reach the hospital or the ambulance, whatever be the reason, or so self-driving car will definitely solve lots of problems. It's not about we are just enjoying our driving.
yeah, there will be another aspect as well to that. There are key advantages, however, the disadvantage would be since it is connected to the internet or anything, because someone else will be driving or some.
It will more be GPS based. You simply need to feed the destination, and I think that will be quite easy for whoever is sitting in
But
that
also
car.
this will be very good for the hackers or kidnappers as well, because they can intercept and they can do a lot of malicious stuff.
ठीक, इससे पहले किसी को कोई और भी ख्याल आ जाए और नए नए आइडियाज है, पाकिस्तानी अवाम जो है बहुत तेज है इस मामले में, और इसको किसी और रास्ते पे लेके चलते हैं। एट द एंड आई थिंक हमें आज रैप अप करना चाहिए। I would really like to thank everyone that joined us today. I would like to thank Sir Musaab, Sir Hamza, and Ms. Aniqa for giving us your enlightened input when we talk about mechatronics, its future, AI, robotics, and analytics. I think we've discussed an entire field. और अगर कोई सुनने वाला होगा उसे पूरा thesis निकाल सकता है. तो Alhamdulillah, it has been an honor for me to be your host today. I would like to thank Ms. Aniqa, Sir Hamza, and Sir Musab again. I've not only have I, been enlightened, I've learned a lot from your knowledge and from your perspectives as well. And I think there's a famous saying that discourse is something that enlightens the human soul. So discussion, जैसे मशवरे में जैसे कहते हैं बरकत होती है, तो discourse और discussion में ही असल जो knowledge है वो छुपी हुई. So I'd like to thank all of you. I would like to apologize to our social media viewers and listeners if I could not take all of your questions due to the limitations of time. In the end, if you have anything to say, feel free to say it.
Yeah, thank you, Mujtaba, for this great session. And I'll be very much glad to be joined again as per the invitation.
Sir Hamza?
Yeah, thank you, Mujtaba. Thank you for inviting me. I think I had a great time. You've been a great host. I hope what we all said, I think that it would be helpful for the future students who are making a decision to be a part of any of the fields, if not mechatronics. I think that it will help them. And good luck. Have a great night and stay safe.
Miss Aniqa, अगर आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
Thank you so much for inviting me, and definitely a lot of scope for mechatronics. So I would appreciate if people will select this subject, and thank you so much.
Thank you everyone. मैंने तो बहुत कुछ सीखा और अगर एक चीज बहुत मैंने मतलब तरीके से सीखी है कि वो है कि माइक को जो है ना बड़ा ख्याल रखना चाहिए during webinars. I will be careful of that in the next webinar. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, Allah Hafiz. See you next time.
Allah Hafiz.